I hope that Canadians can rally around these freedom fighters, because what was done to them was so incredibly exaggerated. And if you follow the truth, right, whatever source of news you have, if you can get to the truth and you realize how they were under attack, from laws that came out of nowhere to the police forces to violence. My parents were there. My dad coughed from the gas that was thrown at people who were peacefully protesting. To me, Juan, I'm a Canadian. I can't believe this happened.
Juan Mendoza with Rebel News. I'm here at SAS 2022 in Tampa, Florida, and with me I have Miss Marina Hoffman and Don Kloba for Moms for America, West Palm Beach County. So thank you very much for talking with us at Rebel News.
Thank you so much, Juan. Thank you so much for Rebel News. I follow you closely because I'm a Canadian, and really it's hard to get the truth here in Palm Beach County without calling someone or tuning into Rebel News. So I'm a big fan, and I get a lot of information from you, so thank you.
Thank you very much. We really appreciate it. So you guys dedicate to protecting families here in Florida and Palm Beach County. So, I'm pretty sure you guys have heard of the recent things that have happened, like in Dallas with the drag queen show, where they're like essentially like having kids into a really, really explicit adult material thing going on there. There's also stuff like Drag Queen Story Hour. So, what are you guys' thoughts on that? Just how that's affecting children and families as well.
Yes, yeah. My daughter, my oldest, is in private school, and luckily we're not faced with these challenges of the public schools. But really, what we want to do is build a support system for these women who may be facing this. Give them options, give them support, and because not everyone can put their children in private school, so. We just want to build a place for these women to come together and support each other.
Yeah, and Juan, it's so hard when a parent faces something that they don't like for their children and they feel that they're the only one. And how on earth are they ever, with their jobs, their livelihoods, everything going on, how are they supposed to stand up for their children when they're one small voice and they know they're going to get canceled? And worse for a mom is the thought of our sons and daughters getting ostracized and bullied and condemned by teachers and principals if we take a stand for them. So to Don's point, what a gift when you can find like-minded moms for us, for women, that will stand by you and support you. And that for us is a strong way forward that is available for every mom. Find other moms that are like-minded and get together, because 2 and 3 is a lot stronger than 1.
Well, that's good to hear. You guys mentioned schools as well. There's lots of parents that are also they're protesting these schools. They're teaching these woke critical race theory ideologies. They're teaching people just go back and regressive, essentially. And it sounds like your guys' movement is just working together to help communities be like, we're against all this woke CRT stuff that's going on.
Take back our children, and we want to raise them. We don't want culture to raise them. We don't want society to raise them. We want them to learn faith, family, freedom. We want them to have these values so that when they are faced with challenges, they can, rely on what we've taught them, and they're not looking for answers where they shouldn't be.
And again, Juan, we're not about saying no to so many things. Our primary goal is to start with yes. Yes to faith, family, and freedom. And that is such a different approach, because instead of being anti all the ways of racism, we get to start with the very positive message that we and our children are made in the image of Christ. And that immediately bonds us. We're made in the image of Christ. We're created by God. And we're not all typical and average. We are all uniquely made. And that's beautiful. So again, I think we need to flip the narrative, Juan, and start with our values. Whatever level of faith we have, we can start with our values, say what do we believe in, and make that the starting point instead of constantly in battle against everything, because the battle will never end. But I think we gain ground when we set up our own values and priorities and our own messaging.
That's good to hear. Now, Marina, you mentioned that you're from Canada as well, right?
That's right. Juan, can I tell you about my dad? Yeah. He is somewhat of a celebrity. He joined James Top and did a walk from Sudbury all the way to Ottawa. And you know, that's a long way. And he is 72 years old. So he did a lot of training. I think something like over 500 kilometers.
Oh, wow.
I mean, he was walking 6 and 7 hours a day. Every time I called him, there were horns in the background beeping. You know, what a story about someone so ordinary. And yet he decides to do something simple, to walk, which he can do. And the thousands of people that have been encouraged by him, thousands of people joined him on his walk to support him. Why? Because he was doing something accessible. So a shout out to my dad, Walter Hoffman. He did this walk, and now he's getting all these opportunities to speak for freedom. And Juan, really, that's something we can all do. We can get a stage and we can speak for freedom over and over and over. And they do try to shut us down, Juan. Rebel News knows this. But we can keep giving our message of freedom.
Yeah, and speaking of freedom, there was also the trucker convoy that started in Canada, in Ottawa, that they were pretty much fighting for freedom against all these mandates. And recently, Tamara Lich was arrested. So what are you guys' thoughts on all that?
You know, I hope that Canadians can rally around these freedom fighters, because what was done to them was so incredibly exaggerated. And if you follow the truth, right, whatever source of news you have, if you can get to the truth and you realize how they were under attack, from laws that came out of nowhere to the police forces to violence, my parents were there. My dad coughed from the gas that was thrown at people who were peacefully protesting. To me, Juan, I'm a Canadian. I can't believe this happened. When he told me this, I felt like he was talking about World War II. I said, Dad, are you saying that you smelled tear gas? He's like, yes, it blinded his eyes. It made him cough. This is unbelievable. He was a block away from where that lady got trampled by horses. What has the world come to? We need to stand up. Juan, I'm sure you know this. What was it, on July 1st, our Canada Day? There was a $1,000 fee for shouting or something in Ottawa. I mean, they've gone to such absurd levels that it's revealed what they're really about. They are not about life, liberty, and freedom. They are about isolating people, oppressing them, and creating fear, because when people are afraid, they won't stand up. Juan, let me say it again. How do we stand for freedom, Dawn? We're together. Yes. I don't stand alone even when we're not together. I know Dawn is in my court standing up. So again, the message that we need to be organized in simple ways of meeting together as friends who are like-minded, so we never face isolation again that leads to fear.
Hey guys, thank you very much for tuning into our content here, looking at SAS 2022. We got a lot of great coverage, interviews with high-profile journalists, and many members of Congress here. So you can go to tpusareports.com to get more content like this. If you'd like to help us fund these trips such as these, you can do so by going to that link as well.